of the time, yeah. So I forgot that I was supposed to be doing something, well, streaming in the morning, but I was like waiting for, I thought it was Friday, honestly. Again, yes, I thought it was 2 days of Friday, you know, this. Anyways, so, yeah, no excuse. I was late. And I'm playing right now, I guess. 11/8/13. I wonder if that's a... What the hell is that thing called? Longitude, latitude, directional code kind of thing. I don't want to write that down now. It's like, tell me I have a pencil. Might have to look that up. It's probably buried treasure. So... stream... Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at stuff that says like there's 4 viewers. I'm like, I don't see, I just got on there can't be 4 viewers. And then it says I have 272 followers. I'm like, no, that's probably like a typo or something. I'm not that entertaining. But if there are, that's mine. Okay. Alright, where did we leave off? Okay. I gotta make some... Okay, I didn't have enough iron, so I gotta continue to make more iron. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Can't go that way. So, I was told that there were some changes to Warframe. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so here we go. I was told that there were some changes to Warframe, and there were. There are now like Kavats that you can track down, play with like some calls, like they're, it's kind of like a duck call or a turkey call. But you got a Kavat call, a Condor call, There's like an emperor condor. I was just like, what the? I was like, that's nifty. And then there's like these, I can't remember what the hell these little mouse things are. But yeah, it's pretty damn neat. I was doing that most of the day, waiting for a phone call. And I'm just like, I feel stupid now because I was waiting all day for a phone call, and I didn't get a phone call other than a political ad. But yeah, because it's Saturday. Most hiring managers don't call and sit on the weekends. Either it's way too busy on the weekends, or you know, it's just not polite. So just like they won't be calling after like 5 or 6. Super psycho. It's like totally an interview. Could have socialized and what else? Like 2 weeks. Well, I did. Never mind. I did talk to the mail lady. She was nice. I had like 4 things I had to do at the post office. Maybe 3. But yeah, me and the post lady, we got it done together and shipped it off. I have to wait for birth certificate in the mail, and then once that comes, I have to. It's gonna be crazy. I need to go back like 10 miles to the DMV on a bike in the snow just to get my state ID. Should be fun. It's gonna look exactly like the birth certificate that I have, and it's annoying. It's really annoying. Well, at least the price has gone down. I'm just thinking of all the flippin' jobs that I can't get because I am not a driver. You know, I wanted to be a truck driver when I was younger because my Uncle Eddie, well, he technically wasn't related to me, but, or even my family. But anyways, he was referred to as Uncle Eddie. I went on a magical adventure with Uncle Eddie. And got to talk on the nice little walkie-talkie, and some adults don't know how to adult, so I only got to talk for a little bit. And then he was like, okay, we've had enough of the radio now. But I think I was 4 years old, 4, almost 5. I watched the like seasons change as we went up and up the flipping, down the coast actually. And I got a Mountain Dew for the first time. He told me not to tell, but I mean he's been gone for a while. I was told he had a heart attack. That's sad. He was my favorite uncle. But I got McDonald's like twice and got 2 toys. I didn't even ask for it. Uncle Eddie's just like, I'm hungry. It's like, we're going to McDonald's. And then like he pulled in to not a drive-thru because we couldn't fit, but he pulled into this gas station. We walked over from the gas station to the McDonald's, and he was like, yeah, we're not gonna stay, we're just gonna get this to go. And like I didn't know what that meant, but I was like, okay. And the second time I knew what it meant. It's like we were walking out with it, but I wasn't familiar with the the terms, the fast food terms. He was actually the first person to take me bowling too. I love bowling. He said that thunder and lightning were people up in heaven bowling. I thought that was hilarious for the longest time. I was like, where are they gonna put it? Like, you know, on the clouds? Cause like after, I was never frightened of the thunder and lightning. I just didn't like whenever everything went dark. Like, it would go dark, and I couldn't see, and I didn't like that part. Sorry, I'm remembering how amazing he was. But, he would make us, well, he would give us all, like, he would get the Happy Meals too. And he would call it his diet food because it was the size of a child, you know, little meal and whatnot. But he always gave us the toys. Like, after, like, one of his trips and everything, he would, he'd come to our house with, like, a trash bag. A trash bag full of, like, McDonald's toys, as well as, yeah, he ate out a lot. And it showed. He was a jolly-looking fellow. And, he was, like, you know, he was always happy. It was nice. And he'd also make these VHS tapes with, you know, cartoons that we would watch. He introduced us to SpongeBob, Street Sharks. It's like okay, in Pennsylvania, they had some strict guidelines and whatnot. So when it got down to it, they played Ren and Stimpy, one episode of it, before they realized what it was. They never played it again. They played maybe 3 episodes of Street Sharks, and then never played it again. Ninja Turtles, we had a vast variety of episodes that we never saw. So whenever they were like, they'd show these little clips of like, oh, you remember this happened? And they show little clips of episodes we didn't even see because their guidelines and whatnot. Not saying that they were trying to be overprotective. I'm just saying that they were protective. But Uncle Eddie would give us these movies and cartoons, and he taped some cartoons for my older half brothers, Ren and Stimpy, and we got to see a lot of it. Like, a lot. Like, my 2 older half brothers were 16, and then it's like 4 or 5 years older than me. Like, well, I guess a lot older. But, I don't remember their birth years. I can remember my younger brother and, well, younger half brother and half sister's birth years, but I can't recall my older half brother and 2 half brothers. I do also have a half sister that I never met. It's different mothers this time. But normally it's my mother that I share all the half brothers with. She got remarried. So there's three older half brothers. One was nobody would talk about who his father was, so it was a mystery. And then the next 2 older ones were, well, one of the older ones was a previous marriage, and then my older brother, younger half sister, and younger brother all have the same father. I was one of those oopsies kind of things. So my older half sister is like 3 months older than I am. It's like, okay, alright. I should probably make a little thingamajig. like I have nothing else to talk about, so the safe things to talk about are good childhood memories. I've just about run out. It's like I could probably talk about times I worked at different establishments, but I'd probably bore you. I carried a tape measure around for a little bit. I kept getting asked if I took it off the shelf, and I was like, no, I was like, it's purple. We don't sell a purple tape measure. And they're like, you sure? You didn't paint it? I was like, are you okay? You know, like, what? Why are you trying to, are you trying to say that I'm stealing? You know? But, he was like, no, it's just making sure, you know, you put everything back where it's supposed to go. And I was like, yeah, it's supposed to go right back on my hip. It's my tape measure. Brought it from home. It was okay, so back in the day, Stanley Tools had this purple tool set that, you know, for women. And I mean, it's just like mediocre at best. But I got a purple hammer, I got a purple tape measure, I got all these purple tools, you know, plier, the wrench. It was an adjustable wrench. And then like some sockets and a few. Okay, so it had one of those screwdrivers with, what the hell is that called? Attachments. Like you could put any Stanley bit in there, so you could do the Phillips head and you could do the flat. It was pretty cool. I flippin' love that tool set. It's not with me. But the hammer was like kind of like a tack hammer, so I had to buy a better hammer. It's like black and red, but it like had this nice little, it's like full steel, other than like the little rubber part that's on the handle. But I was tired. Oh, flip, I broke so many flippin' hammers that were wood. I broke a fiberglass one. I don't know how that's possible, but I broke it. It's not like I was sitting there hitting like rocks or I don't know, some ridiculous thing. I was hitting nails into wood. I've broken drills before too. It wasn't fun. Because then I had to sit there and use a Phillips head just to get it all the way in. It was like the motor burned out or something. It was, I don't know what the hell. I know some people are probably like, yeah, you shouldn't like put screws through like a knot or whatever. There wasn't a knot there. It was just a nice clean bit of wood. The screw was about 6 inches, and I was going through a few 2x4s, you know. I was doing a project, okay? It doesn't matter what I was doing, and it's upsetting because I tried, and you know, this was my favorite drill too before I got the Matrix drill, you know, the one that you can like take the attachments off. and then put other attachments on, so you have like multiple tools, one battery pack. I ended up getting some extra battery packs, but then my first ex ended up taking the charging cord for it, and I couldn't get another charging cord. I was like, you motherfucking dirty, nasty person. I was like, oh, I really hated him for that. I was like, why would he go out of his way to sit there and take my charging cord as well as my battery pack charger? And it was specifically designed for my battery size. It was a 16 volt, this little thing. And then his tool didn't even take. There was no reason why he should have taken my battery pack and the charging cord. Because the charging cord was for the actual matrix itself. It had a little port you could have it charged on while you're trying to do it. But no. I have that sorry, I'm a little upset. That that drill is locked away in a box because I can't find a replacement cord. I have looked on multiple sites and I can't get one. And then I've found a replacement charging pack for the battery, but they didn't have the cord for it. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I was like, what? I was like, this sucks. Really sucks. But I keep it out of sentimental, well, I did keep it out of sentimental, value. I tried using, someone else's, drill. The torque on it was crazy. I couldn't even keep my hand straight. It was just like, I was like, I hit the button, I'm sitting there, I'm holding the screw, and then it's like, what the fuck? And then I'm like sitting there trying to like muscle it, and then it still kept jerking on me, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna break it. I was like, I can't play with this one. I was trying to make a bird feeding trough kind of thing, and I couldn't make it the way I wanted it, and it was upsetting, but I got it a little bit, and then someone didn't like the way it looked. First they were like, oh yeah, this is great, and then they didn't like the way it looked, and then they ended up buying a plastic one. I'm like, okay. I mean, it was bigger. Squirrels chewed the flip out of it too. I made my dog at the time a dog house. It was made out of like lattice because like they wouldn't buy me any wood. They were like, use the scraps that we have, and I was like, there's not enough to do anything with it. And they were like, well, you could use this, and I was like, it's gonna be a holy dog house. It's like, oh, it's summer, she'll appreciate it. I was like, is this a test? I was like, you know, and they were like, oh, you know, well, we just want to see if you can do it. And I was like, oh, I was like, then give me the proper, you know, wood. I was thinking that I was gonna get some you know, some 2x4s, like one of those really long ones that I could cut into proportions. It was like, okay, for anyone who's taken like metal shop and wood shop and everything, you get a clear understanding of tools and the safety regulations and whatnot. And I was allowed to use these types of tools. I mean, I was allowed to use a buzzsaw, I was allowed to use a drill press, I was allowed to use one of those, what the hell was that called? It was like a cutter kind of thing, but it was like, you, I'll think of what it's called. It's like one of those, heavy duty ones that there isn't a way that you're going to be able to make one smaller. Flip, I'll have to look that up. But anyways, I played with one of those. And I played with grinders. But the first ex was, he didn't believe anything I said. Also his father was pretty damn sexist, and they were thoroughly impressed when I did make a pretty okay doghouse with a tarp and some lattice and what little scraps of flippin'. It was a lot smaller than I wanted it to be. She was a medium-sized dog. I mean, she had plenty of room, but I wanted to give it a little bit more, you know, more height and more width. But the scraps that they did give me were already pre-cut, and I had to cut them to the shortest length that I could manage. It's like, it was kind of a little dangerous. I had to shave off like maybe a 1/4 inch here on one, and then like 1/2 inch to like damn near 3/4 of an inch off another. That 1/4 inch scared me. I was like, there was nowhere to hold on to. I measured it, and then I had to kind of put my foot on the base, because they wouldn't even let me use their flippin' workhorse. The table horse, whatever. It was a self-made flippin' table that they could cut on. They wouldn't let me use that, and I was like, what? I was like, okay. They're like, yeah, you can do this, and I was like, what? I was like, just let me use the table. And they're like, no, you're gonna cut the table in half. And I was like, I'm not gonna flippin' cut the table. I was like, you have holes already in the table, but you're worried that I am going to cut it in half. I was like, flip. This is ridiculous. But I made do. I made a flippin' lattice doghouse. Jules did like it. She used it until some spiders got in it, and then she was just like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. I was like, you scared of spiders, Jules? She's smart. She's like, flip that. She's like, I'm not getting bit. I'm not getting in trouble. I had to relocate some spiders a few times for her, and she'd get in and she'd have fun, and she'd sit there, but the next day there'd be more spider webs. It's like, alright, well, I made a little shack for the spiders then. was a great dog. Miss her. Trying to think of the first thing I actually made in the wood shop. It was a key holder. We got to stain it, and what the hell was that called? I keep wanting to say it was like a dowsing rod, but it wasn't. It's not anything like a dowsing rod. It was this, it was kind of like a grinder, but it had this little itty bitty thing, and you slid the wood straight across it, and it just made this curve, and just one side of the, I can't remember what the hell it was called. But that was fun. And the first thing I made out of a metal shop was a pizza cutter. They took all the purple flippin' these were guys that took all the purple little plastic things that we had to buff and rivet to the actual cutter itself. But for the handle, so I had to use this pretty green color. And then, like, after I had chose it, someone was like, I'll trade you, and I was like, no. I was like, I don't want red. I wanted purple. I was like, if you can get him and trade you, I will trade you for purple. And so he tried, but the person who got the purple, like a lot of the girls who came in before I did, they got more purple than I did. They got to choose. And the one guy who did get purple, actually there was like maybe 2 or 3 guys that kind of took purple. I was kind of at the end of the line, and you had to wait for the person ahead of you to pick before you could get the color you wanted. So I was stuck with green or red. The blues were taken, the blacks were taken, the purples were taken pretty damn soon, honestly. That was like the first color to go. And I was like, oh, well then I'll just get I'll get the black one. I'll make a black pizza cutter. No, that one was taken next. But I don't know how far I am. The blue was nice, but the green was better. But, you know, the blues were taken. I still would have chose the green one over the blue, honestly. It's pretty. I'm sitting here just reminiscing over flipping pizza handle. But, yeah. It was fun making that pizza cutter. You have to, bang the rivet in and everything. Our metal shop teacher was the same as our wood shop teacher. And, my wood shop teacher was like, oh good, you took metal shop too. He's like, now you can teach these fools how to do this. And I was like, oh, okay. He made me the like, you know, second teacher. Like, if he was busy, he would have them come to me. I mean, and I wasn't even really good at it, but I listened. I knew what was going on, and I did it proper. I only cut myself once because somebody pushed a guy into me. They had me bend his metal. That sounds weird, but okay, it sounds worse. We were making mailboxes, these little metal mailboxes where you had these like little latches that, you know, you can go like this, but in order to, okay, so it was like a sheet metal, and it was about like this thin, like, well, possibly like that thin, and we had to cut, with some like wire, shears, wire cutters, and we cut the pattern out of the sheet metal, and then we added this latch afterwards. The latch was needed to be welded on, so that was an overnight project for him to do. He's like, because he wasn't going to have people go blind, and he doesn't get paid enough to care if anyone gets blind. so when he said, but I had to, okay, there was this one kind of press thing. You would have to hold the metal in, and you'd put your hand, like your palm, against the very the tip of it, so it held it like this, and then you take the lever, and it would end up bending the inside of it, and it would leave the part that was, you know, pressed up against your hand stationary. Well, someone had, what was that called? There were people who were horsing around, and I ended up getting hurt because of them horsing around. Someone pushed someone else. I remember who they were. I'm not trying to tattle on them. It's just one person pushed another person into me while I was kind of, you know, in the process of that, because there were a few girls who didn't want to put their hand on it because they said it was sharp and it scared them, and they didn't want to cut themselves. So I was there. I was helping, and everything was fine until I got shoved into the machine with the boy in question. He did not get cut. I got cut. I started bleeding everywhere. It was just a nice little gash across my hand for a little bit. It mostly healed up. I don't think I have a scar. being a little kid, we're resilient, and I healed properly. I had to, I was told to wash my hands with the magic solution, and he came over with this, this soap, and it wasn't magic. It was soap. And, he had me wash it out like 3 times. He was like, because little metal shavings could have gotten in there and they could do a lot of damage, and not to touch my eyes or my face. And he's saying this as we're washing my hand. And then he's like, he looks at it and he's like, oh, it's not that bad. He's like, why'd you bleed so much if it wasn't that bad? I was like, I don't know. It's like, I guess I have thin blood. He was like, I thought you were my careful one. He's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, he pushed him and I got bumped. And there were like 4 other people who were just like, yeah. And they were like, they were like, yeah, we're sorry. We didn't mean to make you bleed. And I was like, yeah. It's like, don't do it again. I like my hands, not bleeding and my fingers attached. And then I got sent to the nurse's office the last 15 minutes of class. He's like, that it was too important for me not to, for me to miss any of it. And then now that we were done, go to the nurse's office. I'm finished with you. Go to the nurse. I was like, okay. He's like, make sure they bandage it. And I was like, okay. And then he asked me if I had like gym after this, and I was like with our school we had like gym every other day. So I was like, no, I have it tomorrow. He's like, be sure to change your bandage after sweating. And I was like, okay. He was really sweet, but he was mean to everybody else. I mean, he was a really kind person, but he was just gruff. You know what I mean? I really like Pennsylvania people, because if they didn't like you, they sat there and they told you politely that they didn't like you. And if you still ended up being a jerk after they had asked you to like not talk to them anymore, they would sit there and like, okay, you're not going to you're not going to adhere to my rules, so I'm not gonna adhere to your rules. And then they sit there and they make you listen to them regardless of what you wanted to do. And then they let you know in the most polite way that you are ignorant and an idiot, as well as you have no damn manners, and someone should come back around and try to teach you something. I mean, they do it in such the nicest way too. I got to see a lot of these little conversations when it got to people being harassed by someone else's kids. This one lady, she sat there and she stopped the mother and she goes, "Is this your child?" And the mother was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh." It's like, so you're knowingly allowing your child to be the most annoying thing in the store. And I was sitting there, I'm just like, I'm quiet. I was just being quiet, because like, I was told from a very young age, if you're a child, you should be quiet unless an adult is speaking to you. It showed your manners. But so the the mother had, she had like, she's like, excuse me? And she's like, oh, you're hard of hearing too. And then she just like really laid on her, and she did it in the nicest way possible. And I was trying not to giggle. I didn't want that ire to come after me, that anger. Oh, it was one of those moments where you were just like, you were happy that it wasn't you. Also, it was an amazing feat of verbal Olympics that you don't rarely get to see. So it was amazing. She pretty much in layman's terms, she insulted them to the degree that said that maybe they'd like to pretty much go back to kindergarten and learn proper what the hell was that called, etiquette. Oh my goodness, this one male. Ugh. Sorry, he did something similar, but it was to an old male looking at a young, like a really, really young female. He was like, I know you just didn't take a look at that little girl. And the guy's like, he's like, pardon me? And he had like a really thick accent, probably somewhere south. Not picking on anyone, but that's what his accent sounded like. And he pretty much called this guy out for looking at this little girl. He goes, you know, this little girl has to be at least, 15 or younger. And you're sitting there checking her out like she's a grown woman. I mean, and people stopped. People started to stare. The guy got red. It was just like, he called him out quick. It was like, he's like, no. This doesn't happen here. It's like, what? I was probably like 10, 12 at the time. I was in a convenience store. This happened in a 7-Eleven. One of those mixed gas station 7-Elevens. And I was in there getting supplies for my paper route. Bubblegum. I was getting bubblegum and dog biscuits for my paper route. And this female that was probably a couple years older than me walked by. She had this it was a lower cut, it was like one of those spaghetti string shirts on, and she had some like tight jeans on and everything, and she bent over where I was because she was getting some like snack cakes, and I was down the aisle where I had to get the gum, and she had said excuse me, and the clerk is who kind of said something about it, and it was like, wow. I was like, wow, nice looking out, kind of thing. He definitely wasn't looking at me, but she was showing a little more skin all around, kind of, But, it was hot out. What could you do? I mean, I was in a tank top, but my tank top came up, And I had jeans on too, but mine weren't that tight. It was kind of loose fitting, I guess. They weren't baggy, because like baggy would be like end up getting swampified if I wore baggy clothes and did my paper route. I think this was before I started doing my paper route with my bike. Yeah, definitely before. I remember getting glasses and having to do my paper route on my bike. I flipped over my handlebars because, like, riding with glasses for the first time was just off the chain. I couldn't, I had problems seeing with the glasses. I think there was something wrong with my prescription. But the next time we went to the eyeglass place, they gave me another pair of glasses, and it ended up, I could actually see, and I didn't feel like I was going to, you know, fall. It was really weird. Putting glasses on, knowing that I needed glasses, and then feeling dizzy because the glasses were on. I couldn't focus, and I think the prescription that I had was kind of making me super dizzy. That's not the first time, well, that is the first time that I did get a wrong prescription. The second time was at a Walmart Vision Center. I was like, immediately, I was like, whoa. I was like, these definitely aren't my, I was like, these aren't mine. And they were like, yeah, they are. These are the frames you picked out. And I was like, yeah. I was like, that's a frame I picked out, but it's definitely not my prescription. She's like, oh, well, new prescriptions, they, oh my goodness. So she said that they tend to, make people a little dizzy at first, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, I can barely see out of these things. So I wore it. She said, try it for a week, and if I can't get used to it in a week, to come back and look at the prescription. They should have looked at it right then, honestly. But like, dude, they accidentally gave me the prescription for the person ahead of me, and they had to fix it for free, which, you know, ordering the right prescription and just popping the lenses out and whatnot. So that was fun. Okay. The reason I have to wear glasses is because I broke a few blood vessels in this eye, and then like one of them in that eye. But after I did that, the damage from it, I don't know, it was never the same. So ended up having to get glasses because I couldn't see properly. I had to wear an eye patch for like 2 flippin' weeks. I was out of school for those weeks, but it was great. I was going like R and stuff, you know, like a pirate. But I was making the best out of it, and I was using my imagination. I was bored as flip. I wasn't sick, and yet I had to stay home from school. It's like, okay. I mean, it wasn't like a black patch or anything. It was a little white patch, and I had to replace it every couple of days. So, to tape it on. It was stupid. Oh, that is special. flip, I forgot. I still need to download Plant vs. Zombies. Yeah, I didn't upload any videos today too. I was a little busy. And I didn't eat. I'm sure I ate something. I'm pretty sure I ate something. Trying to think of what I did eat. Oh, yes I did. I made scrambled eggs. And sausage and toast. I just haven't been hungry since, I guess. I had to use, what is that called? A tomato, because it was going bad. It started to get soft and everything, and I'm like, I don't have any like thing to like put this in. I was like, well, some people like to eat tomatoes with their eggs. I was like, let's try it. So I sauteed some onions, tomatoes, sausage, with some garlic and onion powder, some salt, pepper. Oh yeah, and some like sweet peppers. They're not actually sweet. They're the spiciest I can handle without getting acid reflux. You know, those little yellow and red and orange sweet peppers. They look like little jalapenos, but they're not spicy at all. Well, I had prepped those a while back, and I have them in nice little formats that I could just add to whatever I want. Like stir fries and whatnot. When I'm feeling it. But I did that, and it was yummy. It's like I was gonna eat it regardless of if it was, you know, nummy or not, but it ended up being nummy. Pretty damn filling too. I still have that pork stuff that I made the other day in the fridge. Gonna eat that tomorrow. Trying to guesstimate. think I turned the right way. Yeah, okay. Ooh. Oh, there it is. Trying to think of something to talk about. I don't know whether I should tell that story or not. It's a little bit more of Uncle Eddie. So, I remember that day very particular. Like, Uncle Eddie had accidentally pulled a hair out of my head because he thought it was just on my shirt, and he grabbed one because my mom was talking about my hair color, and Uncle Eddie's like, oh, a lot of our family does that, and a lot of other people's families do that too. My hair was lighter, and so he had pulled a hair up, and I gave him the dirtiest look ever when he accidentally accidentally yanked that out. I was like, what the? I was like, who are you? Why did you hurt me? I don't like you. And because this was like the first time I ever met him too. And he's like, I'm sorry. He was like, I'm really sorry. And he said that he didn't mean to. He didn't think that hair was attached. He just needed to see it up close. And I said, bend down. I was like, you didn't need to yank my hair out. I was just a little 4-year-old. I'm getting snippy with this grown-up, and my mom laughed, and he was like, I'm sorry. He's like, how can I make it up to you? And I was like, I don't think you can. And he smiled, and he was like, how about an adventure? And I was like, what kind of adventure? He's like, an adventure where you're going to see spectacular things. He showed me spectacular things. I got to see it was like snowing around the area that we were in, and it went from snowing to green. Everything was green. So it was like he changed the weather to me, like the 4-year-old self, you know? But I know we were just going down south on his route to deliver, his truck. I don't even know where we went to deliver it. But I know we went to the back of a store, but I don't remember what the store's name was. I was more adamant about getting in my, what is that called? Happy Meal. It was like those little toy box things. So, it was back when they had them cardboard, and those looked like a little McDonald's handle, and then it was red and little M on the side, and so I was trying to get my food, and I know we went to the back of the store, and I got out, and we ended up going and sitting down on the curb and eating our meal. And they said, oh, we have your, we have you on hook now, you can head out. And then we gathered up all of our stuff and got back in the truck, and then we started driving again, and I was just eating my food still, because I pick at my food, and I'm a slow eater. But on the way back, it was like it's like we were going forward in time or back in time, just to get to. It was about nighttime by the time we got back. I got 2 meals and my Mountain Dew that was damn near as big as me. It's like one of those little 20-ounce things. I was small. But I sat there and I milked that damn Mountain Dew till there was like damn near nothing left. I remember my mom getting angry about that. She's like, you gave her Mountain Dew? And he's like, what? She loves it. And she's like, what? She's like, where did you even get Mountain Dew? And he said a state, I just can't remember where. But it was fantastic. We had stopped at a little convenience store to go to the restroom, because he's like, I gotta piss. And I was like, what? What does that mean? He's like, I have to use the bathroom. And I was like, oh, okay. he's like, do you have to use the bathroom too? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, maybe you should try anyways. And I was like, okay. So I went into a family bathroom and he sat there and he held the door. He told me not to lock it. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you know how to do your business, right? And I was like, yeah. It's like, I know how. He's like, you know how to wipe too? And I was like, yeah. It's like, I'm a big girl. But, yeah, I ended up having to go, and I went, and he was like, you know, this kind of day deserves a reward. And I was like, what's a reward? Because I had no idea what any of these terms he was talking about. So he introduced me to Mountain Dew. He also introduced me to multiple states, because like I went through multiple states just to get down to where the hell. Sorry, I'm trying to look at. I'm gonna have to build another damn chest. But he showed me like the magicness of what the hell is that called? Different climates, different ecosystems. I had no idea that any of that. It's like it was mind-boggling to me. I thought he was magically changing the weather, but I was like, yeah, Uncle Eddie made it hot outside, and I was like, I had to take off my jacket in the car, and he helped me put my seatbelt back on, and he's like, no, we were just going down south, sweetie, and I was like, okay. I was like, but it got hot outside and everything was green. I was like, it wasn't like up here. Yeah, it's pretty and fantastic. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make another. What I need in order to make a chest. More wood. Alright. It should be fine. But yeah, from the moment that like I got Mountain Dew and McDonald's and all that other stuff, like fast food, because we didn't eat fast food. Like someone cooked, and I mean we had pizza occasionally, but that wasn't until like later. And then there was hoagies. We were introduced to hoagies after that. That was a type of fast food. What do you mean there's monsters nearby? What monsters are they talking about? You can't come in. Go away. So wait a minute, is the door open? Oh my god. You see him trying to force his way in that door? I didn't think they could see through. I don't want to go out there. So About the second or third time I met him, we went bowling. And I found a new thing to love, you know? He introduced me to a lot of things that I love. It's a bit weird, honestly. And it wasn't just because he introduced them to me. Because I generally like these things. Flippin' love Mountain Dew. I have one in the fridge. I don't drink it unless I feel very low on blood sugar, you know? But there he is. I'm glad I didn't jump out. Maybe there's two. Hey, what do you got? Nothing that I want. Wait, what is that? What tree is that? Nothing that I want. Okay, I guess he disappeared. Why, how else do you, take down a tree? Ooh. Oops. I should have enough to, make a whatchamacallit now. No other piggies around. Sorry. I have a feeling he's still in the neighborhood. Alright, so I don't know why it's going down. That is so weird. Okay. I'm just gonna put some of that. The hell is that? Is that a witch? Okay, that was a wolf. Okay, I see the wolf. There is a cow pushing a pig around. I sworn I heard a witch. I don't want to go out because they'll get me. Okay, I'm good. He did introduce me to anime though. I kind of found that one on my own. I'm quite curious why I brought Uncle Eddie up in the first place. I guess I was thinking of enjoyable people. He was a nice person. I met a lot of kind people. I also met a lot of nasty people. I've met some really mean people who ended up being kind of nice after. You know, those type of people who like sit there and just judge you right off the bat and they're like totally wrong. This one male called me Priss. And I was like, what? He's like, you're just a prissy, and like some swear words and insults, and I was like, excuse you? He's like, you heard me. And I was like, dude, I was like, I don't even know you. I can't even sit here and you know, spout out the lies that you're talking about. And he's like, you know, you're like, all women are the same, you're just, you know, prissy, and you're just gonna sit there and attack me. And I was like, I just sat here and told you that I wasn't going to attack you because I don't even know you. And he's like, this is just another trap. And I was like, what is wrong with you? He's like, see, I told you you were gonna attack. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not even attacking you. I just don't understand why the hostility. Because he found out I was a female, like, a gamer, and he just started, like, attacking me for some reason. And I was like, what is wrong with you? But, like, he was totally chill. He thought I was a squeaker. A squeaker in gamer terms is a prepubescent boy. Yeah, I guess I have the voice of a prepubescent boy. And, it's feminine enough that, people think that I am a young child. I guess it's weird. But, after, like, I was like, dude, I'm not a little boy. I was like, I'm a female. And he's like, oh, you're a priss. And I was like, what? Then he went off on me like I was going to attack him, and then I was like, I don't know what's wrong with you. And then he's like, all women are the same. And I was like, now that's insulting. I was like, all women are not the same. There are different layers of females, and not all of them can hold the title of woman or a lady for that matter. But same thing with males. There's a whole variety of different types of males. Some are men, some are boys, some are guys, and some are gentlemen, which, you know, those are rare and few between, but gentlemen. But, yeah. Oh, damn. But after he got over himself, he ended up being a pretty okay person. Still cheated in games. I hate that. People sit there and cheat in games. I was like, they're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be relaxing. It's supposed to be enjoyable. Playing a game, a video game, a card game, a board game, any kind of game, you know? Why the fuck cheat? I had this one person who, he couldn't lose. Like, he wasn't a good sport while losing. So, I played, Grand Theft Auto for a little bit. And, he attacked me with a flippin' jet. And I was on the ground, and I took, my sniper rifle, and I told him if he shot at me again, I was gonna shoot him down. And he's like, what was that? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, was it a sniper rifle? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I could take you down with a handgun. And I was like, I don't have a scope on my handgun. I was like, I have a scope on my sniper rifle. And I was like, and if you keep shooting at me, I am going to take you out. And he's like, ooh, I'm scared. And I'm like, okay. So he shot next to me, shot at me, and it took me like 3 to 4 shots, and I shot him out of his jet. And he got angry. So he tried to shoot me down, and I hit him. I hit him, and like with my fist, and then I shot him with a shotgun, and quick bar and everything. So that he came back, and he was cursing in the party chat the whole time. He's like, "You're effing cheater, you effing," and I was like, how many times do you want me to kill you? And he's like, "You're cheating," and I was like, I'm not cheating. So then he threw like it was like a missile at me from across the street. He killed the whole party next to me. And then hold on, I forgot which okay, so it's like that one right there. He killed the whole party next to me. I respawned, and I took my handgun, and I potted. I just boom, 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 and he went down, and I logged out. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and let him kill me so we could just, finish and go about our day, because we were doing like raid after raid kind of thing, or mission, I guess that's what they're called. And he was too angry. He was just way too angry. And I got out of the party chat too. He's like, "Yeah, that's right, Rod." And then he called me a bad name, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. I was like, I'm kind of done for the day. I'm not wanting to play anymore. I mean, for reasons. But I was like, yeah, if you wanna, if you wanna bring this into another game, I will smoke you in another game. And I told his name, and I called him out, and he's like, no, you're gonna effing cheat, blah blah blah. And I was like, alright, night everyone. And they were like, night. And I got off, and yeah, he wasn't the nicest of people either. Oh, flip. That reminds me of another story. Alright, well, this little kid tried killing me in his world. I don't know, in Minecraft, I don't know why. It's like, he invited me onto the world, and I was like, okay, well, why do you keep, starting new ones? He's like, well, I just want one where me and you can play. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, well, what do you want to do first? And he was like, let's find diamonds. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I'll tell you what, every other diamond I find is yours. And he was like, yay. And I was like, okay, cool. So I had found like 4 diamonds, and I gave him 2. And he's like, well, I need more to make a full set. And I was like, yeah. I was like, we all need more. And I was like, I need at least 3 to make a pickaxe. So, well, I think is it like 2 or 3 that you need to make a pickaxe with? I guess that's not it. Maybe it's under this. No. Let's check. I guess I can't see. To go up to the next one. I thought you could make at least a wood one with that. Whatever. But anyways, I was like, well, I need to make a pickaxe so that if I do find some obsidian, because he wanted to go directly into the nether after we got some gear. And I was like, okay, well, definitely need a pickaxe if I'm gonna be mining, you know, from obsidian. And he's like, well, yeah, we'll get it eventually. He's like, but I want all my gear. And I was like, okay. I was like, every other diamond I find is yours. It's like, that still stands. But I wasn't finding the diamonds fast enough. And, I ended up getting another diamond. And being able to craft a diamond pickaxe. There was a little bit of jelliness, and I was attacked for, not for the pickaxe, but, I made this little igloo, house in the, in this, like, frozen area next to, kind of a little ways away from his castle. Well, he was trying to be, I guess, playful. We'll say playful. And he tried to pickaxe some stuff underneath me, like to like freeze drown me, and under. And I was like, dude, I was like, you're not gonna like me if you keep antagonizing me. And he's like, what? I'm not doing anything. And I was like, you're trying to pickaxe the floor underneath me. And he's like, no. He's like, I'm not trying to do anything. I was like, you're not getting my pickaxe. And he's like, I'm not trying to get your pickaxe. And I was like, oh yeah? So he's like, you do have it on you, don't you? And I'm like, ah. I was like, no, I don't. I have it in my chest. And he's like, oh, which one? And I was like, of course I have it on me. And he's like, oh. And then he continues to try to drown me. And I was like, okay. Alright. I was like, you try this one more time, and I'm going to make sure that you drowned under this ice. And he was like, okay, so I'll stop. He didn't stop. He tried again. I pickaxed underneath him with my diamond axe, which was a little more OP than his iron axe, and then I laid a few blocks over top of him. He popped. I picked up his stuff. I laid a chest down, and I put his stuff in that chest. And he's like, well, you took my experience, and he kicked me out of his world. And I was like, okay. I was like, alright, we're not gonna play like this anymore. I was like, I told you not to antagonize me, or I would attack. And he's like, but I'm just a child. And I was like, okay. I was like, did I physically hurt you? And he's He's like, you hurt my feelings. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm sorry for hurting your feelings, but you hurt my feelings too by trying to kill me and steal my pickaxe. And he was like, I wasn't trying to steal your pickaxes. And I was like, alright, take a break. Come back and talk to me whenever you're done, okay? And he's like, I'm telling my mom. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, make sure that you tell her that you tried to kill me first. You gotta paint the whole picture. And he came back later and said that his mom said that I should have let him have the pickaxe. And I was like, well, this is why we don't we don't play very often. I was like, it's just not gonna happen. I was like, I don't know how much more generous I could have been. Most people are stingy with diamond in a first like world and everything when you're just starting out to begin with, and it's just like, okay. Ah, damn. I don't know how far I am over. Okay, so... Oh, just a smidge over. Well, we almost overshot it. One away. Wow. That's kind of, that was one off. I'm glad I looked, though. I had this other person invite me to a world to build. He wanted me to build a building in his creative world, and he's like, anything you want. Here's another young one, and then he sat there and pestered me because it wasn't up to his standards. And then his dad asked who he was playing with, and I was like, if I need to talk to your dad, that's fine. I can talk to your dad. And he's like, just some girl I know. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, oh, well, he's like, don't pester girls about building because they're gonna get angry and leave. And then his dad asked if I was his Minecraft girlfriend, and I went in front of him and I went like this. He's like, oh, you can hear me, and I went. And I don't think his dad knew how old I was, but yeah, he would sit in the room with him and watch him play. So I was very impressed with that. Not a lot of people would sit there and you know, make sure their kids are okay with online people. I met him through another friend. It was on PvP, Plant vs. Zombies. It's a cute little game. It's like a game of all ages, like anybody can play. Mostly kids play, but yeah. But anyways, he wanted to see me build in Minecraft, and I built this little kind of like a little jade palace, and we were talking about some stuff. What was it? He wanted me to stream it too. I was like, okay, fine. I don't know why I don't talk to him anymore. I think he just stopped talking to me. I gave him a little advice on anyone building in his worlds. I was like, first thing you gotta know is people are gonna build things the way they like to see things built. And he's like, but it's not even symmetrical. And I was like, what do you mean it's not symmetrical? I was like, it's plenty symmetrical. I was like, look at my windows. He's like, it's an odd number. And I was like, well, I was like, what did that have to do with anything? He's like, but I thought you liked even numbers. And I was like, I do, but I was like, when you're building a place, it doesn't look good when you have like the door more to the left or the door more to the right. You have to have an odd number. You know, same thing with the windows. And he's like, but it looks awful. And then he started moving my windows around. And then he moved them back. And then he tried to move them higher than they were. And he's like, this place doesn't look good with windows at all. And I was like, do you want me to continue to build or what? He's like, yes, I'm sorry. He's like, I'll go do something else. And I was like, okay. I was like, how about you build something? And then you can show me your style of building and I'll show you my style of building after. He's like, but I don't like your style of building. And I was like, okay. I was like, at least you're being honest. But, yeah. I was just like, alright. Some people are just picky, you know? Can't help that. Oh no. Excuse me. I didn't mean to yawn on camera like that. And then have my stomach gurgle. My bad. Where? Okay. Okay, I was like, why didn't I put it, catty corner, like, this way, to wrap around, and I'm like, oh yeah, steps, okay, that definitely makes sense now. I just set that here. I just saw some coal. Did I not pick that up? Guess not. I lost where I was now. Okay. I see floating things now. Whoops. There's probably a diamond around here. Kind of ran out of things to talk about. Trying to stay on happy subjects, but then I'm just like, oh, this was amusing to me. Okay. Not making a little kid cry, but the being attacked and then, like, you know, defending myself. I popped up a couple times. Oh, there it is. Oh, 2. It's like, we must be like, oh yeah, we are. We're under the water. Hey, wait a minute, are they in this, like, am I gonna have them raining down on me? I'm gonna close that up. Just a minute. Just a bit worried. Oops. Oh. Sorry, that sounded way too close. If I start hearing ting 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 ting, that means that they're in that what is that thing called? Oyster thing? No. I came across this person opening packages, and that's his like channel. It's like, wow, I didn't know people did that. And his thing on his channel, he wears the clothes. Like he'll put a picture up of him in the clothes, even if they're women clothes. I got a little giggle out of that. It was like a woman's coat and then a woman's dress. And he tries the he gets mail from that is like what is that called? Like it's rejected, instead of it going back to the supplier or whatnot. Somehow he gets it. I was like, oh. I was like, I don't understand how that works, but I guess overseas that works. He was trying the products and it was interesting. Watched maybe, I think it was 30 minutes of that. He promoted his, he's making a movie. I guess a few movies. B-rated movies, like, you know, low budget kind of thing. No corporations funding. Yeah, it's pretty much startup movies and whatnot. Oh, I thought I saw some iron. I was like, well, you know, at least he's not promoting like some other thing. He's just promoting his stuff him and his friends are doing. I was like, that's cute. There's also this music artist who's promoting things that he does with his friends. His friend makes some music too. I was like, oh, cool. It's like, that's nice that like his friend like helps with the music. He composed this like part of his song. I was like, that is really nice. He's like giving everybody credit where credit's due. And it's like, not a lot of people do that. So that was really nice. Just making sure I didn't miss any. Alright, full circle. Alright, so that goes way back. That I can't go further. That goes way back that way. I guess we're going this way. It's quite the jog. I'm a boring person. Alright, so. Try not to put a damper on anyone's day. I did eat ice cream yesterday. I finished off Moose Tricks that I got the other day. I was like, oh, this has brownies in it? Flip, yeah, I want brownies. Took me, damn near a month to get through it, but I finally finished it. still got cookies and cream, and what is that called? Java chips, something like that. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. Like a cappuccino coffee like ice cream with like chocolate chips, or I guess they're not chips, they're like chunks, but they're like flat. I don't want to call them shards, but whoops. I haven't even broken into the chocolate, fucking cappuccino, chocolate Java chip thing. I don't know what the hell it's called. Something you do in the middle of the day so you're not like up all night. Oh, sorry. It's lack of food and waking up at like 5:30 this morning. Almost 5:30. Oh, dude, that reminds me of Pee-wee's Playhouse. He had this kids show and whatnot, where the word of the day, my younger brother was into it. And this was before all the controversy with him and everything. It's like, dude, he should have just put that in his mental bank and, walked away with that in the mental bank. But I call it something else, but you know, hey, anyone could be listening. So, but he used to have this magic word, and if somebody would say the special word or magic word, everyone in the house would scream, and it was like, ah, and everybody just, ah, and it was like, you said the magic word, and then he'd say it like 5 to 6 more times, and everybody would scream after it. It was like an excited yell, but it was still interesting. It was interactive, and people could play along with it. Before Dora and Diego. I like Dora. I like Diego better. Oh. I think there's like a Jake the Pirate too. I've never really watched that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. This is the most boring thing ever, but it's relaxing. I'm kind of fantasizing about opening up that ice cream, but you know, people can fantasize about whatever they like. I don't care. Mine normally is about ice cream. A nice huge bowl of ice cream. Nobody bothering me while I eat it. And like having the option of like multiple toppings. Like if I wanted some rainbow sprinkles. I haven't had rainbow sprinkles in years. But if I wanted some, it's there. Just sprinkle it on. Maybe like each bite if I want it. You know, hey, it's my fantasy. I can do what I want. Yeah. I'm a boring person. I fantasize about ice cream. Never snow cones, but ice cream. Like drizzling like hot fudge on it, but it not melting the ice cream. You know? Defying logic, but it had to be done. And then the caramel and marshmallow fluff. Instead of just like a big blob of marshmallow fluff, it actually comes out in like a squirt, so that you can like squirt it on like, what is that called? The caramel or the hot fudge. I mean, you could put it in like a Ziploc bag and cut the corner off of the Ziploc bag and, you know, kind of pastry it on, like icing it on. But it'd be a waste of a Ziploc bag. can't find anywhere that actually makes chili cheese fries. It's a shame. Is that water music? I'm not gonna lie, that zombie kinda, startled me a little. Yeah, I know the ice cream sounds amazing, doesn't it? Sorry, I'm sorry. Ice cream. Sorry, anyways. It's like eat dinner first and then you can eat ice cream. I do have marshmallow fluff. I really do. I don't have any chocolate syrup or caramel. Those are luxury items. Marshmallow fluff was an impulse buy. It was in the peanut butter aisle. I was looking for peanut butter. Since there was no peanut butter that I liked there, I got sunflower butter. This cookie butter, as well as what the hell is that called? Marshmallow fluff. I was like, no, they should have had my damn coconut peanut butter. This is all their fault. I'm getting marshmallow fluff and cookie butter. I mean, it didn't break the bank or anything, but it did happen. I've had one spoon out of that damn cookie butter. I made myself like a little a little plate of these nut thins. With a cute little play on words. But sorry, I think some of them are despawning. So, I got some of those nut thins, and I was eating the cookie butter with that, as well as sunflower butter. I was like, it's not sesame butter. I know it's not sesame butter. I was like, it's one of my favorite flours. One of, because I have like 3. And then I have a secret flour that, okay, so that was a secret too. But normally I have like my colors. I have 3 that are my favorite, 3 that are my second favorite, and 3 that are my third favorite. But there's always a secret color in each category. secret flower and color and other things. Those are just between me and myself and I, you know? So it's like there can only be one. I need to make more of these flippin' about the only thing I don't really have a secret with the category is like cats, because I like all cats. Like all felines. I don't want to be eaten by them, but I like them. Like some big cats that could definitely eat people. Where the hell did I leave off? Okay, there they are. Oh. Another weird thing. My favorite color will actually change depending on my mood. Like the order of what the colors come in. If I'm upset, it will be in a certain order. If I'm totally fine, like chill or whatever, it will always be in the same one. And then if I'm feeling just weird or zany, it's only in a certain order. So that's it's for people to find out, I guess. They'll have to ask me what my favorite colors are quite a lot. Okay. Just looking for air. Break. I knew it was gonna happen, but I thought it was gonna be the first time I went over that. I don't know, I just felt like something was tickling me. Yep, I'm just gonna throw a pork chop down there. It'll light my way. I'll smell my way back. I was trying to box myself in. I guess we'll go this way then. Alright. Save and quit. That was fun. First it's oh man and or whatever. I can't read. It'll be alright. Alright, well, have a good one. Bye-bye.